Now that's kind of a old school teeter-totter or a seesaw in that sign. I think it's to warn about a playground. But this thing is, it's very 20th century, don't you think? Because well, the teeter-totter is a 20th century kind of thing because you can get hurt. Seesaw, teeter-totter. You say seesaw, I say teeter-totter. Gilded Rage. Gilded Rage. Jacob Silverman wrote Gilded Rage. And it says Elon Musk and the radicalization of Silicon Valley. There's a picture of Elon Musk there. We all know what he looks like, unfortunately, with his beautiful hair transplant and so forth. If you see younger pictures of him when his hair's all falling out and now he's got this full head of, well, whatever. Anyway, this is a bit of a monster book. Since we can these days label people, sort of how we feel about them. It's okay to label people in a derogatory way. So, whereas like this book, Unhumans, the book Unhumans, I think this passed through my apartment here a few months ago. I tried to read that, look at it, recommended by J.D. Vance and so forth. Well, it's basically anybody that's not a fascist Republican like them is an unhuman who is qualified to be eliminated. And so that's the kind of attitudes of these people, these monsters. Let's call them monsters. If they're going to feel free to call me unhuman, then I feel free to call them monsters, because in a sense that's what they are, with the distortions of humanity. How did we get here? How did we allow these people to accumulate all this vast amounts of money? Well, the book doesn't deal with that. It doesn't deal with how unjustly and to the hazard of the entire world, how a certain element of people, these in this instance, these Silicon Valley billionaires, have managed to accumulate billions of dollars. I mean, one Mark Andreessen, for example, a troubling right-wing billionaire. He just invented Netscape. Like, okay, gee, I could have fucking done without Netscape instead of this guy having billions of dollars. And why does he get billions of dollars from Netscape and then a few other things? Well, they're all military contractors as well. All these great loyal Americans are military contractors. So while Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy can go ahead and eliminate all kinds of careers and jobs in the government because it's too much. Meanwhile, they're getting billions of dollars in defense contracts and so forth from this same government. And while they're kicking these troubling criminal immigrants out of the country, well, look at themselves. I would say that the most troubling criminal immigrants in the country are, top tier. Number one would be Elon Musk himself. In the book, it talks about how, Elon Musk has only been here inhabiting North America, the USA, from Canada for 39 years? Did I say that Elon Musk had been here 39 years? I think I meant 29. From 2000, from 1995 until now is 29 years, right? Let's say it is. So anyway, he's, he ain't a real American. He's not the real American. He's some kind of weirdo raised on some kind of apartheid craziness, thinking that the black people should be his slaves and everybody should be his slaves, and that he's all special. However old he, like 20 years before that, he was born, whatever, and he spent. He actually is an illegal immigrant. The story in here is told with him and his brother came over from Canada to work here. Came on Elon Musk claimed that he was going to go get a PhD and then didn't go to college and decided to work instead, as such as it is, the work that they do, shifting money around, whatever. So, both he and his brother are really illegal immigrants. They got, I remember how the mechanism was when they got citizenship or whatever, but, Stephen Miller's wife threatens people on podcasts to be shipped out of the country. Well, why can't we look at a real troubling entity like this Elon Musk, who has billions of dollars in government contracts, and meanwhile is encouraging Trump to throw people out of work and. The idea is they want to trash the government. That's the whole ultimate game plan. You see that Trump came in again and started fucking with the economy in ways like an idiot, like a resentful moron, in that he's putting these tariffs on everything, which of course is those people don't pay the tariffs. We, the consumer of the imported goods, pay the tariffs, and here in this country that they've engineered, everything is made over there somewhere. So all we make is the high-tech weaponry, I guess. So. Can't we make Tupperware again or something? I don't know. So it's a really kind of disturbing story about these jerks who have all this influence, and Peter Thiel is all in part of it, and they're psychotic. I mean, if you listen to these people, they're children who have matured during science fiction days, or came of age during science fiction days. So they're all in a world of Star Wars and what the hell's it, Lord of the Rings and so forth. So they're all into kind of a fantasy world that's their reality, and they're perfectly willing to trash everything, create an AI that the alternative general autonomous general intelligence dream, which becomes this uber intelligence over everything and decides what to do, and AI will lead us into a bountiful future, according to them, and figure out how to go to Mars and all these other things that apparently humans really need. So that's another part of it all. I've been thinking about AI recently, and as far as I'm concerned, AI is not something altogether new. A corporation, the coming together of people to create a corporation or a mob or a certain political party or something, it becomes an AI of its own. The driving force of it is the corporation itself. The corporation is, feeds on higher profit. It has to make higher profit always, and discounting what any of the individuals might want, and what might want to do, the moral whatever the moral high ground, or whatever the individuals, the workers, the executives, whoever who works for the corporation might want to hold, and might want to have some sort of ethics about what they do. The corporation is not into that. The corporation is going to want to break the law, do whatever's necessary to make the profit, and that's okay, because that's what the corporation is. The corporation is a type of AI that drives on its own, and that's what we've been living with for the past whatever 100 years or whatever, and it's gotten worse as the corporations and have stopped being taxed and become more powerful than the federal government, and then come up with all this anti-government stuff. So like Ronald Reagan, when I see the government, here it comes, I'm from the government. That's the worst thing anyone can hear. Well, the worst thing anyone can hear now is basically, I'm from the corporation, and I'm from Tesla, and I'm from Google, and I'm from Israel, and basically they're just they're AIs themselves who are destructive, who don't care about any humans, and will let us all live in poverty quite happily as long as we can't fight back, and we can't fight back anymore. See, the whole corporate mindset taking over everything for all these years is brainwashed everyone basically into this some sort of weird distortion of what life is supposed to be. I'm distorted by corporate life and how I grew up and the things I learned and things I was taught from television and everything. And they always said that the ads were what the television was all about. I doubt that. The programs also were what the television was all about, and the values that were supported by these corporations were what television was all about, and really led us to what we are today. This sort of split off, lonely, individualistic people who cannot get it together to fight for the rights that we need, cannot do anything to stop this encroachment of these venture capitalists and their Silicon Valley buddies as they trash everything. So that's kind of where it's all going. And now Trump is wants to test nukes again. Well, fine, It all leads to a kind of to certain people like me, including I'm susceptible to a kind of a resulting nihilism about all this. It's like, well, fuck all this. People are just insane. There's no possibility for human life ever to get anywhere, because anytime anybody gets an advantage, and they're always given an advantage. I mean, we hear about the past of hunter-gatherer societies, and when somebody got to be too big for their britches, they got driven out of the hunter-gathering tribe. Well, we don't drive the people out of the tribes who are obnoxious, who are demanding too much. We reward them with the Apprentice TV show for 20 years and then make them presidents. That's what we do here. So, Mr. Silverman, has a chapter of his book that is about San Francisco and about what's been going on with San Francisco. And okay, the rich people don't like how San Francisco is going because there's all these homeless people. And so we have to get rid of the homeless people. We solve homelessness by getting rid of the homeless people, making them go away, making them invisible, making them gone. And, you know, that can be just by chasing them from wherever they are, confiscating their goods. So, you know, they force laws that where you're doing stuff like that while they're sitting on these billions of dollars. I mean, there's giving millions of dollars for candidates that are forcing things like that for issues and you know, propositions for things like that. And meanwhile, they have all these billions of dollars that they could solve the homeless problem. The homeless problem is that they are one of the reasons why real estate has gotten so expensive and people can't pay for it. So, you know, they are the cause of the problem, and they have the solution within their grasp if they just build some affordable housing or something, you know. So, so the chapters about San Francisco were quite interesting about how they were, you know, trying to deal with these results of what they were doing, of that kind of capitalist culture, and how it ends up that everything gets more and more expensive and people get poorer and poorer and the jobs are driven away and all that. So, and then everything they do is just going to make things worse, you know, like all this stuff of Trump, you know, their boy Trump is now, you know, putting all these people out of having to pay a higher insurance premium. I mean, what's that going to do, you know? So it's all just, it's so just crazy, and it seems like it's intended to just cause chaos, just to screw things up. So then, you know, the big authoritarian power can come in and say, oh, now we have AI, and now it says, do we do this and that? Okay, so you know, don't worry about anything anymore, because AI is now our ruler, and AI will lead us and make everything better. It'll take a while, but it's going to be better. Yeah. So Peter Thiel, yeah, the other South African who thinks he's now knowing how to stop democracy, which is horrible in America, and make things all better. So yeah, Peter Thiel. So he's another person who was partly raised in South Africa. So, I mean, when Elon Musk's grandfather moved from Canada to South Africa, I mean, I guess for the opportunities there to exploit the population and get extra rich. So yeah, that's what he did, and then somehow, you know, but wasn't there some sort of a scandal about his father being involved in all this sexual issues? Yeah. But Peter Thiel, talking about another person with sexual issues or whatever issues, Peter Thiel is, you know, I probably first heard of him when he helped Hulk Hogan attack Gawker Media. So under Gawker Media were all these different websites. There was a tech one, there was a female one, names that are escaping me at the moment, but so Gawker Media, one of the Gawker media entities outed Peter Thiel at one point. that he was a homosexualist. So that happened, and so that's why he was angry with them and ended up trashing them with helping Hulk Hogan in the sex tape lawsuit, which they lost, and I don't think Gawker Media actually exists anymore. It's quite a big building, the 17 Hotel across the street there on 17th Street in Manhattan. But just a Gramercy area. The Gramercy area is very nice. So Peter Thiel, he's he's so smart and so helps shares what his wisdom with us. So he's recently there was an interview on online from a New York Times guy with him, a few months ago, where they did start talking about the Antichrist. He's always he's quite into the Antichrist concept, that the Antichrist is going to come and stop tech or use the wrong tech or do something and halt the progress of the human race. And his idea was this Antichrist was Greta Thunberg. So little Greta is the Antichrist, and I think the reporter said, but maybe aren't you kind of like more eligible for that position, being the one who actually owns the private information of like everybody with your Palantir thing and all that? I don't know what he had as an answer for that, whether he did have an answer or not. But anyway, he gave these like private lectures. I don't know what that meant, particularly people invited to come and listen to him. Like there was 4 of them somewhere recently where he once again is going on about the Antichrist and this sort of weird thing. So that's what I'm saying. All these this is a real crisis in story or something. We've all gotten kind of the wrong story, or a story that's gotten distorted, or these heroic stories have really screwed up people and made them think that any kind of collective activity is bad. That only only individuals, like the rogue cop is going to solve the case with his rogue rule-breaking moves, because he's the rugged individualist man, and the system won't allow him to do the job the way it needs to be done. So all these kind of things, and like why do we have a president, and the religion. I don't know what sort of a religion Peter Thiel was brought up in, but I was listening to Frank Schaeffer's podcast. This guy was the dad who was big in right-wing Christianity. Frank Schaeffer's about my age, so his dad was big during my youth, and that's when he affected the things that he affected. So anyways, we're listening to his podcast, and the guest he had on, they were talking about Bill Gothard in that one, Shiny Happy People. And, they were talking about how it really is a form of child abuse to tell kids that if they're not good, or do something wrong, or just because God feels like it, even if they don't do anything bad, they can go to hell and burn in hell forever. And all these people are going to go to hell, and you're going to go to hell if you're not good. And I was listening to that, and I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, Jesus Christ, that was kind of what I got too. And lesser degree. My parents, my dad wasn't particularly at all, but my mom was the pusher for it. But the church was not that hardcore. I was baptized and so forth, immersed, but it wasn't a real hardcore right wing. It was a right wing Christian church, but not hardcore like that. So, but still, I got the message that if you're not good, you're going to go to hell. And heard these stories about Armageddon and all the battles and all the stuff. And so, of course, my reaction to all this is complete rejection. But, I guess other people are looking for something else and finding more in these things and getting something out of it, I guess. But they seem like dangerous stories to me and harmful. And what these tech guys are into is not good. So anyway, I think I'll stop babbling about this. Gilded Rage, interesting book to track where we are. If you don't know where we are, a lot of this stuff I knew already, but it's all gathered here in one little place. There's a lot of things about this coming out right now. So this is one of them. Jacob Silverman's Gilded Rage, and I like the book and I recommend it, although it's not cheerful. So you want to have some cheerful about Silicon Valley. I've been watching, I just completed season 5 last night of the HBO Max series Silicon Valley. Now, it went out of production before really the right wing move of all these people, the venture capitalists and the tech billionaires, became really clear before all that. I think the series was over in 2019 or something. So it doesn't lampoon that part of it all. But anyway, I like Silicon Valley, so that makes me cheerful during the reading all this, because they are in the series. They're all quite chumps, and besides, it has Martin Starr, who I like, who from the Party of Wanting to Party Down. I think the other series that I liked him in. So I think that's where I'll leave it. So go watch Silicon Valley, and you can read this book if you want to, and we'll talk about something else sometime in the future.